I had twins 2 years later. At 14, I had twins.
At 14?
Yeah.
Hold on, 1-4.
1-4.
You had twins at 14?
At 14 and a half. You're making it a little bit personal.
Hey guys, welcome back. So today I'm here with Mo. Hey Mo.
Hello. As you say in Detroit, what up, though?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Add a little bit of Detroit spice.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. So you're in Ghana.
Yes.
And I hear you've been here for a few years.
Been here for 6 years to be exact. 6 years.
Wow.
6 years. Yeah.
So are you Ghanaian?
I'm half Ghanaian. My father was born and raised in Jamestown.
Okay.
Kotolante Teshi house. My grandmother's house is in Mamprobi.
Okay.
My grandfather's house is in Mamprobi. So yeah, I'm half Ghanaian. Grew up in the States and had not came to Ghana until my father died 8 years ago. That was my first time coming.
Wow.
So my father raised me in the U.S. He retired back in 2000, about 2000. Retired from corporate America.
Right.
Lived a great life, suburban life. Never had really any struggles.
Yeah.
But when Dad moved back, I just didn't come.
Why?
My mother and father got divorced at the time I was 12. I think there was one attempt to bring me back, and it didn't work out. Funny story.
Okay.
After my mother and father I grew up in Worcester, Massachusetts. My mother's from South Dade County, Miami, gold teeth. And my father, a bunch of Ghanaians came over in the 70s. And a lot of them went to New York. New York was too fast for them. Bronx, Brooklyn. So they came to Worcester, Massachusetts.
Right.
Dad got a great job. Dad went to Worcester College, got an accounting degree, rose up through corporate America. At that time when I was at Worcester, I was surrounded around a nucleus of a Ghanaian family. My cousins, everybody, soccer, everybody. So it was cool to be Ghanaian.
Yeah.
You had a problem dealing with my big cousins. And that was life to me. But as far as corporate America, as we started to move out, I started to realize that necessarily being African wasn't the thing to be. And as a lot of us have suffered, so speaking the language, or I love my father to death, but it started to become somewhat embarrassing.
I love this. This is true talk, because I've experienced a similar thing. So you saying it, because most people wouldn't like to say it out in the open, but you're saying it as it is, and I think that's very real. No,
we have a generation. God, we look at our younger cousins like, wow, it is so cool to be you right now.
Right.
It's the end thing. But for a lot of us, it was turmoil. It was turmoil being African. A lot of our parents who, first generation with the heavy accents, the pounding of food in the morning. Is your father eating mashed potatoes with peanut butter? The spices and stuff like that. I had a lot of fights, and it necessarily wasn't from the Caucasian community; it was from the African American community.
Really?
So I started to build a self-hate early. When my mother and father got divorced, I think it was around 11 or 12. I moved to a totally different community.
Yeah.
I put being Ghanaian in my back pocket.
So your mother was from where?
Mother's from Miami, Dade County, a little bit south of Miami.
Right. Okay.
So when they got divorced, we didn't move far away, but got a chance to put me in a new school. Got a chance to be Ghanaian, put it in my back pocket. Didn't represent that. Nobody knew.
But what was your last name? Was it
Cheatham? So my whole name is Barry Maurice Niayite. Cheatham. Cheatham is an English name. So my great-great-grandfather obviously got captured. They went to the UK, and then they came back to Ghana.
Right.
So we actually have a Cheatham Street in Cape Coast. We're rooted in Jamestown. Grandmother all throughout Jamestown.
Yeah.
Mamprobi. So the Cheatham name, you wouldn't necessarily recognize it.
Right.
As far as a traditional Ghanaian name.
Yeah.
And when my mother and father got divorced, the self-hate was so bad that I had to identify. So no one knew. My father was a great father, would call me, come pick me up. I would spend time with him. But there was starting to be that disconnect.
Wow.
Certain football games he wanted to come to, he would call. I would erase the message. My mother wouldn't know.
Really?
It was a real, no story comes full circle, but it's a real disconnect. So as we progress, we know about that strong Ghanaian heritage, that household where my dad was a dad, and when he was coming home, I was younger, I should take his socks off his feet and stuff like that. I feared my father. My father's a good man, but now I'm starting to get cool. I'm starting to feel myself.
Yeah.
I had twins 2 years later. At 14, I had twins.
At 14?
Yeah.
Hold on, 1-4.
1-4.
You had twins at 14?
At 14 and a half. You're making it a little bit personal. That's 14 and a half.
A little bit too much there.
Yeah, a little bit too much, 14 and a half.
No, I mean, like, I know how it happened, but like, how did that happen?
Let's go back and let's tie that in. Obviously, it's in a traditional Ghanaian household. That never happened. But now I've moved into a community, still the suburbs, a single parent family. My mom is working. My dad's no longer around. He tries to check on me, but I'm pushing him off.
Right.
It's not that fear anymore. And I'm in a community where about 20 of my friends, none of them had fathers which were in their household.
Right.
So I sort of delved into a community where it was cool not to have a father. You know, not to say when I get home, you have to deal with your dad.
Yeah.
I say when I get home for my father to tell me how much he sacrificed and what he did when he was growing up, you know. So we talk about strong Ghanaian family values. You know, I sometimes look, and God bless, you know, my daughters. That was a mistake. You know, it happened, but you start to look at that like, wow, as you said, how?
Yeah.
Me putting my Ghanaian heritage in my back pocket.
Wow.
Continue to distance myself from my father. Continuing not to answer calls. Continuing, you know, just doing my thing. So yeah.
So what did your father say when he found out that you had just had twins?
I think first of all we have to look at a Ghanaian being in America and starting to assimilate. I mean, obviously it is a shock.
I'm shocked. I mean,
what, how, why, what, whoa.
Yeah.
But obviously, as all our parents come, you're from the UK, correct? All of our parents had to deal with, maybe not on that level, but certain issues as far as their child assimilating.
Yeah.
And they just had to roll with it, you know. I was supportive, great dad, paid child support, assisted. You know, yeah, he rolled with it. What could he say?
Oh, so how did you raise these children?
Dynamic story. Obviously, I was 14.
This is going to be a long video.
Yeah. Obviously, I was 14. And let me be clear. The young lady I had him with, it wasn't like I was just around slanging. You know, it was my first or second experience. Oh, what is this?
Oh.
The young lady I had, well, my children's mother, the young lady who I had her with, she went to another high school. Right. So I really didn't pay attention, me being young and immature. Yeah. Heard whispers, oh, she ain't pregnant. Yeah. I don't care. It's never gonna come back on me. Wow. No, I'm saying savage. You know, it's never gonna come back on me being young and immature. I think I want to put this in perspective. I think around like the 8th or 9th month, it was because my daughters were born June 22nd. It might have been like May or June. I was out of school, and I got a call like, "Hey," deep voice, "Hey, is this Maurice? Yeah, I'm about to go to football practice. Yeah. I knew you just had twins. You're a father." And I guess this was her stuff. So I kept that under, as if it wasn't going to come back to me. I kept that under wraps for like 2 weeks. You know, taking calls and public, you know, being silly, being a child, because I was a child. Finally, it got to my mother. She's shocked, like, taking in what did she do. But let me make it clear. My mother's a dynamic woman. The young lady, they gave the kids up for adoption.
They did.
The mother moved. They moved away. They gave the twins up for adoption, Ebony and Angel. Wow. You know, that was not an option. My father said that's not what we do. So obviously, as my parents decided to raise them, but our nuclear family was in Florida.
So aunties, your family raised the children.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, aunties, uncles. That's what my whole family is. Wow. It was just me and my mother up north. I mean, up in Detroit, Metro Detroit. So my parents raised, grandmother, everybody. That's where everybody was. Yeah. By the time we tried to get them back, like 5, it was a wrap. Yeah. They were ingrained in the family. These are art, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, that wasn't easy, man. We still have our struggles. I wasn't the most irresponsible father. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through this in 18, 19 in college. Yeah. You know, because my kids are almost like 15 years younger than me. You know? I actually have grandkids. Wow. Yeah, I got 4 grandkids. So really, yeah, life is grand. So I'm sorry, I'm sort of leading off. But we'll tie it together because
it's interesting because this is like a real story, because I love how it then comes back to Ghana. As you said, it becomes full circle, you know. Yeah. So it's an interesting story.
Yeah.
So are you in their lives now?
I'm in their lives now, in my grandkids' lives. Actually working overtime to make this a full story. We'll get into some other things too. But the goal is to bring them back every summer. I don't know God. I lost God when I was 10. You feel me?
Yeah.
To know God, to be rooted within the foundation, because our family's from Accra, Ghana, and understand, and not had, as we really get into my story, is knowing who's who, what's what, and what's yours.
Yeah, right. I hear you on that. I hear you on that one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So what prompted you to then, because obviously your dad moved back to Ghana and you were still in the States, and
So still in the States.
You still had that thing of you don't want to be African.
Listen to me. When my father moved back, it was one of the greatest things, because now no one would really know. My father used to come out to games and stuff like that, and he could tell it was a detachment. He could tell I was into all type of things. I wasn't a bad kid, but I was a young African American male up in some of everything. I wasn't gonna say I was a thug or a gangster, but I've definitely experienced some things.
Yeah.
And he could tell us a disconnect. I remember even one time, because the Ghanaian parent doesn't understand entertainment or something. So I go to my father's house. My father actually remarried a younger wife from Monproby, and he brought her over. And I can remember me going over there and just sitting at the table and just bored. You know, Ghanaian parent that entertain you. You're with your father. You know, I listen to music. You watch TV, and I'm really coming from a household of where my mother's gone. You do whatever I want to. And I remember one night, it really came to like a full stop. And I think my father realized. He went to sleep and I stole his car. I just stole his car. I wasn't up to anything.
You weren't afraid?
Once again, let's talk about this, and let's talk about the strength of Ghana. Mothers and fathers in the household being afraid of your father, being afraid of your uncles, made it very vast. You weren't afraid. Well, I just grew up in a community where there were no fathers, and I should be afraid. But I'm no longer. My foundation is no longer based on Ghana principles. Not even thinking of just the mere fact. Because a lot of kids in Ghana are not afraid, but it's the fact that that's my father. I don't want to disappoint him.
Yeah.
I don't really care. I want to go out. I want to meet my friends. Took the car, drove around, didn't do anything, and just came back. And honestly, when I came back, I was like, oh, I'm about to get it. And I could tell like the sense of disappointment, like my father knew he had lost me.
Yeah.
Because he just grabbed the keys and was like, I was like, that's it. And I think that was the final point where he realized I'm gone. He can't do nothing with me. But let me be clear. Great father. Went to Wiley College. Truly supported me. Truly called me. But there was a disconnect.
Yeah.
Pledge Omega Psi Phi fraternity, group to the Qs. Graduated from FAMU. So it was consistent phone calls checking me how I'm doing. Do I need something? But it's phone calls. And then he retired. He retired. He retired early. Shout out to my father. Back to Ghana.
Yeah.
My father, in between those times, just come back every 2 years. I would see him, saying, the stock up and stuff like that. But I don't think he ever got the moment of celebration to know that his son graduated. So moving forward, there's a couple years it just got weird. I might talk to him like once every other month. He sent me like 2 or 3 tickets to come over. I bought them. There's always some type of excuse. Because the Ghanaian father. Oh, you will come for 2 months.
Yeah.
You want me to take time off my job? Pay my rent. I paid that already. You're like, I've done everything for you.
Right.
You are going to come and you're going to stay with me. Now let's be clear, because I think this comes into you. This wasn't Afro-Chella. This wasn't Afro Nation. This wasn't December in Ghana. Ghana wasn't popping like that. I want to come where? Do what?
Right, yeah.
There was no motivation for me to want to come to Ghana. Didn't see a vision or anything. He literally bought 2 or 3 tickets. I think the last one, can't put a time. Now, mind you, as I'm going through my young adult life, I'm kicking it. You know what I'm saying? How we were.
Yeah.
I think maybe the last ticket, I don't want to, might have been when like I was like 26 or 27. Where he was like, he's sort of forgiving the younger tickets. You're 18, you're 20.
Yeah.
And he bought the last one, and he just made a like, F it. I'm done. You know what I'm saying? I'm done with this.
Right.
Slowly after that, my father had caught diabetes. He was sick. He had lost his leg. He had lost his leg at Corlebu. Diabetes. And my father, probably wasn't a strong man and we weren't there for him. Because I had my kids, I was going through my own things and still talking to him, but not realizing what my father experienced. My father got a nut. Well, let me take this back. My father's wife from Mount Proby, my father moved back when he retired. They had my brother. My brother's about 10 years younger than me. He went to St. Martin de Porres, but he's in America. My father, a lot of times when you retire back to Ghana, you don't have things together. And you realize, I might need to go back and make some money. My father had a house, I think that was in Dansima. My father wasn't rich. He made six figures, but that's not rich credit based. So he realized in Ghana that it wasn't necessarily working out. He had opened up one of the funeral chair rental canopy businesses early. He's the first one, but that wasn't sustaining. So he told my brother's mother, hey, you stay here. I'm going to pay. I just need to go back to America and work at a contract Department of Defense. Make a long story short, and I hate to express this but my father came back and she was gone. She sold the house, had moved back to America. So imagine,
sold the house. How did she sell the house without him?
Listen, Ghana, a lot of things I don't understand, I don't know. So imagine you coming back to your wife and your child. They're gone. I could understand the turmoil that took on him. He started drinking. He was already a drinker. And now he's had his leg amputated. He got traditionally remarried and actually have sisters who are now, I think, 15 and 17. We'll get into that. Well, I don't know the ages. I have a stepmother who's a year older than me.
Huh?
Yeah, we're about to get to this. This all comes into play.
Oh, my goodness.
And I want to look at the cameras because I do want to send a shout out to the Ghanaians who were born and raised here but moved abroad. The Ghanaians who are from the UK, who lived in the UK, who still have Ghanaian roots. And the Ghanaians who are all throughout the diaspora. You got to get in touch with what's going on. You got to talk to your mother, your father. You got to understand from an educational level. I can't speak on auntie and uncle, but it's not what you think it is. You got to understand who's in your corner for your father or mother to tell you. And it's going to be a dynamic period in the next 10 years. There's going to be some turmoil in Ghana. It's going to be some real violence occurring because you're going to have sons and daughters coming home to claim their parents. And it's not yours. Your uncle's taking it. And I don't think that Ghana's addressed. It's cool about to be on a return, but we're the ones with the property. We're the ones. And how do we manage that when
you're not here?
So I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm going on a tangent.
No. I'm enjoying listening to you talk. So please tell your story.
So we go back and forth. I was just telling my father's story. Younger wife, this and that. Sort of distance. Probably was about time from like 30 to 36. We'll talk, but I'm very strong. Some things you're telling me is because nobody knows I'm Ghanaian. Nobody knows, like from high school. They might see my father come to my graduation, this, that, but definitely went to college. Nobody knows. My line brothers, people were like, I never knew his Ghanaian. Actually, I sort of shunned some of the African students and made fun of them. You feel me? Hey, the Ghana club, like, hey, I heard your name's Nutitfafa. Get away from me. You know what I'm saying? Just being honest. So now we move it forward. Talking to my father. I think the last, give or take, 2012, my father did his annual trip. Hey, son, I need to see you. I'm going to be in Worcester, Massachusetts. That's where I was born at. If you don't know now, Worcester is majority West African.
Right.
We're one of the first 20 families there now, majority West African. I go surprise my father. He doesn't think I'm coming to see him. He's staying with a friend. And as this man, my father, opens the door, he's a withered man. No longer a shell of what I thought my father was, with an amputated leg. And it had me break down, because we should have been there for him, we assumed. And he was so happy to see me. Got a chance to spend 2 to 3 weeks together. And he got a moment to see that I'm really a man with my own opinions and we could debate, because my father's a very fierce, kind of educated man who knows everything. And one of the things he left me with at that trip was one statement. He said, you have to come home. I have to show you things. You're the senior son. He said, son, I need to show you. All right, Pops. Me not being in a Ghanaian mind state, not understanding what that meant. Because I'm lost. And I'm taking this for granted. I'll go. Make a long story short, my father died maybe a year or two later. Great man. was going through some turmoil. I had never been to Ghana before. Going to bury my father. Obviously, I don't understand the traditions. I don't understand anything.
Yeah.
My brother, obviously, he's mom and dad are both Ghanaian. He grew up here till he was 8, so he speaks perfect God, perfect tree. His mom is from Mount Pro. So my brother's good. And we're talking. I was talking about the funeral. We have an uncle who was from the UK. Won't mention any names. Who called us like, hey, basically going to assist you with everything. You know what I'm saying? You're my nephews. I want to make sure we bury your brother right. Don't worry about anything. Hold those words. Gets deep. Talking to my brother, and I'm not understanding complexities of a Ghana funeral.
Yeah.
I don't understand the complexities of people taking sides, this wife, that wife. Listen, man, I'm just coming to bury my father. I'm not even really concerned about assets.
Yeah.
Got my own stuff going on at home. So make a long story short, as I come to bury my father, I had a cousin who actually grew up in my apartment complex, who was really my root to being Ghanaian. My Uncle Jones, my Uncle Sandra. Like, that's how somebody might know, oh, your uncle stays up in front, and we see him all the time. And my cousins had graduated a couple of years before me. So they, as I pulled away from my father, they were the only link. I'll go around the corner, they'll tell me stories and stuff like that when they grew up. So they were preparing me for the funeral, you know what I'm saying? Sort of, because my cousin was like, something's not right. I'm getting, like, you don't know what you're walking into.
Yeah.
Speed it up. As I flew to Ghana, and this is hilarious. The first night, I wasn't going to meet my uncle, because from a hustler's perspective, I could feel something ain't right. I was having my cousin's cousin come meet me and pick me up.
Right.
Oh, this gets hilarious. They pick me up at the airport. Me not staying in Ghana. I don't have my father's address. I don't have anything.
Okay.
And the reason why I want to say, as I'm talking to my stepmother on the phone, checking on my little sisters, you could appear that she sounds delayed. She can't quite understand English, but she can. And you can see it's tactical. Almost like someone's telling her what to say. We're asking questions. We can't really get anything. So I'm picking this up. So obviously, I want to go to my father's house unannounced.
Yeah.
I don't ever know if you went to Byway 0, which is up on the hill looking McCarthy Hill. Malam is before that.
Right.
I assume that this party is going to take me as I get off at Kotoko into Malam, and I'm going to say, hey, American man, where's this house at?
Yeah.
It's 11 o'clock at night. Who the hell's American man? Malam doesn't know American man. Byway 0 does.
Yeah.
So we get lost 11 o'clock at night. I'm embarrassed. These people brought me out here.
Yeah.
So they have to call my uncle, who obviously, as I'm his son now, I slipped into Ghana without letting my father's senior brother know I've arrived.
Not happy.
They call him. He cuss him. How dare you pick up my son? They bring me back to La Paz. He picks me up. He has a couple words. Now, mind you, I know my uncle, but I don't really know you.
Yeah.
Okay. He takes me out. My cousin, I won't mention her name. She has a house in East Legon. She's moved from the UK. You may even know her. She's done very well for herself. I guess this is meant to impress me. So as I walk into this house, he has his kids. I think he got like 3 male cousins, all adults. 2 girl cousins. They're lined up, like almost they prepared for me to walk in.
Right.
My uncle sits me down. Within the first 2 minutes of conversation, he tells me, your father has nothing. He wants you to leave it all to your sisters. Wasn't really concerned about that. It's a little bit early to be talking about that.
Yeah.
But I do know a man that had an MBA. I do know a man who's worked in corporate America, worked for the Department of Defense, who's meticulous with record keeping.
Yeah.
It's funny he didn't die without a will. That's but that's on us.
Yeah.
That's on us. We should have known. Number 2, we know my brother talks to my father. We know he has a computer with all his records. My father, Ghanaians are meticulous for keeping money in records. That's how my father was.
Yeah.
So now it's put me alert based on my Detroit hustle skills. You feel me? You need to stick with them and watch them.
Yeah.
Something's really going on. And they're all tuned in. So now, instead of me moving around for about the next 3 to 4 weeks, I'm watching my uncle almost lead like it's his funeral. He's taking me, wasting time. Out of those 4 weeks, he never took me to my father's house.
What?
Hey, I'm watching them. I'm going back having conversations with others. They're telling me how to dip and dodge. So this is a very dangerous game. It's a very dangerous game. I'll speed it up. Obviously, as I'm overcoming emotion, we get to the funeral. It's a hot mess. I'm thinking that my brother, which we've talked about, is going to fly to bear his father. He speaks God, but he's going to play it off. We're going to understand everything.
Yeah.
Complexities of a Ghana funeral. I'm excited for my brother to come. I see his stepmother. I see my stepmother, who I've grown up with.
Yeah.
She's a couple years old. We went roller skating together. Like, I have a relationship with this lady.
Yeah.
So I ask her, where's my brother? And she tells me, we decided not for him to come. We decided not for him to come. That it's better that I come. So now I'm assuming the alliance that I had has been snatched from me.
Yeah.
And I'm the only one who does not know God because they're on this side.
Right.
She has her side she's pulling from. And let me be clear, my father never divorced her.
Oh.
So he had a traditional marriage. Your father, I guess he's a little player. I can't talk about my daddy. But he had a traditional marriage, which he lived with the lady in Ghana, God bless her soul, for 20 years. She bore 2 kids from him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But he never divorced my stepmother. Right. So I noticed that my uncle is trying to deny this woman the insult to everything he gets is, but we're friends. Friends with everybody, you know, because we have a bond. And I'm trying to explain to my uncle is I can't judge my father's affairs. For some reason, he didn't divorce her. Had the money. Very strategic. Yeah. Why the 20 years didn't he divorce her? But he's trying to manipulate and push her out the way. He's trying to determine this is his funeral. Couple things I didn't know. My uncle had been back to Ghana in 23 years. I found out years later.
Oh.
He was on a mission to come steal. So moving forward, go through the funeral. It's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. How could a man who's so peaceful, who moved out in Zimbabwe in 2000 to get away from everybody, this be a hot mess? And my uncle planned the whole funeral. So in his mind, he did everything. We didn't really take care of our responsibilities, which we could have. All right. So I'm going to speed this up. Lay my father to rest. Obviously, I'm distraught. All of this nonsense going back and forth. I think it's and please help me. I think it might have been after the Thanksgiving service, maybe a week later.
Yeah.
No, let me take that back. Obviously, we're taking the body out the morgue and we go to stop to every house. Before we take him to my grandfather's house in Mount Proby.
Right.
We stop at my family house. I realized that my uncle was staging this, walking me in, holding my hand. I've been here for 4 weeks and my little sisters are looking at me like, why haven't you come to see us? I'm walking to a community where everybody's looking for American Man's son.
Right.
And I'm just now coming, which makes it look like I'm irresponsible. Yeah. And my uncle's walking me in with my hand and I could feel the looks.
Did you ask him if you could go to your father's house though?
Yeah, a couple times, but I could see it was a play. I didn't want to alert him too much. I was just watching his actions. Yeah. So speed it up. I can see my stepmother's side who lives in the house. You feel me? I can see sort of relationship. And they can see I'm a little bit more personal as the night gets, the music starts playing. Yeah. She comes up to me, she says something in front of him, and she says, Barry, why didn't you come see us? And I look at her and I look at him, I can see he's startled, like she wasn't supposed to say that. Yeah. And I realized that this is a play. Moving forward, I obviously bury my father. I go back to the U.S. You got this side, that side. Listen, man, it's really, I'm sure there's not a lot of money here. Yeah. Not your Saco Valley. You know, not to the point where you act up, you act up. Yeah. You know, you get me? That's Saco Valley, buddy, but we know it's money here. Yeah. I noticed that my uncle continues to reach out to me and send me emails asking for me to sign over a power of attorney because he wants to make everything right. These are facts. I'm not even focused on this. I don't see he has his daughter send me, listen, right now, I need as a family for us to come together. Yeah. I need to make sure my brother's good. I need to make sure everybody gets what they want. Me not understanding my status as the senior's son. Probably about a year later, I'm calling periodically to check on my stepmother and them and my sisters. I call her, and I might not call like in 3 months. And I say, hey, how are you and the kids doing? And she says, you're asking how we're doing? I said, yeah. She's like, are you really concerned? I said, of course I am. You're my family. And she busts out crying and she tells it all. This is the first time I've ever told this story. Anybody? She says, they told me not to say anything. They told me not to say anything. He told me to handle everything. I'm like, what are you talking about? Your uncle. your uncle, and he's had me sign some document. I don't know. He said, yeah, they said we'll take care of everything. I said, what are you talking about? He had her sign a letter of administration. Now, mind you, I've told him no.
Yeah.
I need everybody to come together. We're not in a rush to do anything. We need to heal. I don't even know if I want to come back to Ghana. It's so much nonsense.
Right.
Didn't want to come back. God didn't impress me that much.
Yeah.
So now, obviously, letter of administration is to take over my father's estate. Okay? She tells us, and she's leading us, telling what he's doing. So I sent her some money to file an injunction. He doesn't know. We filed an injunction. We're working together.
Yeah.
Now, it's probably maybe 6 months later. Please don't hold me to it. I have to fly back to Ghana because he's about to get a letter of administration. So he thinks.
Yeah.
In 3 days. This man that took my father's car, had my stepsisters and them walking. So his plan, you can see it. So I pop up out of nowhere. We meet at a Teshia house. We have a meeting. And I know we're not supposed to tell family business, but this needs to be told. Yeah. And I call him like 2 minutes before I get there. He doesn't know I'm in town. She calls him like, hey, uncle, what are you doing? That letter of administration that you thought you were getting in 2 days, you're not getting it. We filed an injunction.
Yeah.
Go to the family house and don't treat him like an uncle. I actually threw water on him. No, I'm saying, because at some point, if we're going to deal with culture, we're going to deal with culture. Right. But if we're going to deal with that drama, we about that drama. We about that drama. You feel me? So now you have a man who is my father's senior brother, who is supposed to do his duty, who has taken my father's car running around, who has tried to steal from us. That's it.
Yeah.
We'd have came back, everything would have been the way he thought it would have been.
Yeah.
And we've caught him. How dare I do? And we're in front of aunts and uncles and stuff. Give me my father's. Actually, I had not told him. He had my father's key because he's shocked. Yeah. We're family members now.
Yeah.
It's a family meeting. Give me my father's keys to the car. If you don't, I got them boys outside. It's we about to get to it.
Yeah.
Make a long story short, he was minimized. But in his mind, there's a fire. Yeah. There's a fire. Because now he's head of the family. I've embarrassed him. Yeah. And me not understanding the culture, maybe that could have been handled differently. I've embarrassed him. Yeah. Maybe my uncle deserves something. Pull the slick move. For some reason, I go back. She gives him this letter of administration. He holds on to it for 2 years.
He what?
He holds on to. She took it. I'm working with her. She takes it and gives it to him. It's getting real weird. I go back to America. Had to fly about 2 times on covert missions. He's talking about some type of 2-year anniversary. Now, mind you, I banned him from the house. You can no longer come to my father's house. Yeah. He's holding us hostage. He's holding us hostage. We finally get the okay to, obviously, our letter of administration is coming up. Yeah. Let me be clear. We finally dissolve the estate. As I fly back, I think we're meeting at the bank. My uncle's at the bank. The bank managers told me, your uncle was trying to sit in these meetings and my uncle's trying to steal. You can see it, and I don't care. You can see it in his eyes. He's trying to steal. So now we dissolve this money, okay? Fairly, my thing is, there's some things that the traditional wife shouldn't be included. Listen, man, we're going to include her. Everybody's going to get their share the way they're supposed to. Yeah. I'm going to make sure because we're a family. That's it. It's not going to be this, that. And that's what I did. I made one mistake. I signed over my power of attorney to one of my uncles because I wanted to make my brother feel comfortable. He knew him. You know, hey, man. Yeah. Worst mistake I made. So, we run it forward. We're all happy. Everybody's happy. Both wives are happy. Hey, we good. Yeah. No problem. Everybody's gotten theirs. The house is the house. We don't even really need to talk about this. Yeah. We're actually agreeing for, hey, man, my wife's traditional. Let her stay in the house. I've argued with them. She got the kids. That's her house. Yeah. All this talk about you coming back and let them stay. You know, as long as she's doing it. So my uncle pulls another move and he gets us called up to CID. At the East Ring Road.
I've been there.
Yeah. We want to talk about that my father died intestate without a will. And that we're going to use Commonwealth law to divide my father's estate. Interesting. Is this how guys do it? This is what he want to use. The man from the UK.
Right.
So he has us with a CID inspector.
Right.
And we did do something on the letter of administration. We didn't sign his name on head of the family. We used someone else.
Right.
That's a little bit illegal. But as I was expressing, why would we trust you to sign you on any of our documents?
Yeah.
You haven't earned that. So speed it up. She's in the room. We're having a meeting. He asked her, why is he in the room? And she responds to him, he's a senior son. It's his father.
Right.
What he's trying to break down is threaten my uncle who had a power of attorney and my stepmother. He's trying to threaten them that he will press charges because they signed another name as head of the family. This is how deep this man is going. We're educated. It's getting, because you know when Ghanaians, when they hear jail, they're like, oh, what does he want? Because they're the ones who, so it's getting so irate in here that she says, Maurice, please just come. Because you know they're talking. They're telling everything. She said, Maurice, what do you think? I said, are you telling me that my uncle, my father's senior brother, called us in here to dispute something that we've already settled as a family?
Right.
No wives are arguing. My sisters have their money. We have our money.
Yeah.
What is the problem? I said, it's blood money. I said, if he wants to take it, because now my father had like $130,000 in his account. Wow. Not a lot of, no, I'm saying, not a lot of,
it's money for Ghana.
But compared to who me and you know.
Yeah.
Compared to who me and you know, we know the same people.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of money. It's not a lot of money. My father worked hard.
Yeah.
For him, he was good.
Yeah.
But it's not a lot of money amongst 6 people.
Right.
So now with intestate law, listen to me. The father side gets 20% of the account. I might be off my math. So the father side is supposed to get $21,000. Because we signed over power, you know, I'm like, nope, not happening. Yeah. I'll run back to the U.S. with that one. I'm about to rob, and I'm joking. I'm about to rob some people. Now, mind you, I'm trying to make sure that I don't hold on to the money. You have my uncle distributing it. We took the $20,000 because we believed that the family should benefit. Yeah. But my father wasn't close with. He ran to this side from my father. My father dealt with my grandmother's side. Yeah. So we took it to my Uncle Franz here. Cool. Yeah. It's not a problem. You know what I'm saying? Even though that this is not what's done in Ghana. Right. But Uncle Franz, and we just passed. Yeah. Pharmacist professional. Uncle Franz has money. Done. My uncle went and called the police on Uncle Franz. Well, Uncle Franz like, take the money back. Now, because those two think they're still supposed to go to jail, we have to give it to them. No, we don't. Yeah. No, we don't. Have to give him anything. Give it to me and tell him I got it. Tell him come get it. Yeah. We give my uncle $20,000. $20,000. This was this man's whole motive. Money. To be involved in his funeral. Yeah. He thought he was going to take the house. Thought he was going to take the house. It's embarrassing. So now you ask me, we're coming full circle, what made me move? Yeah. After we split this estate, I go back to America. I'm not doing well. My life is falling apart. I'm not focused at work. I've lost my apartment. Just this man who has done so much for me, my father, that he never got the moment to say, hey, here's my son. Right. You know, which every Ghanaian father lives for, like, this is my son. Yeah, yeah. He never got that moment for me and my brother to come back, for us to stand up for him and say, hey, they came to take care of me. And I can see his legacy being washed away. Yeah. Man who accomplished so much now, it's all this confusion. My father did not deal with nonsense. Hey, I got my pension $7,000 a month. I'm good. Right. Give whoever money who needs it, but don't bring nonsense to me. Yeah, yeah. So now you're talking about this man who, I'm at home. Is this the way it's supposed to go down? The house he built, my uncle's going to take over it. I came for a month. Played big dog stand up. That turned into 2 months. That turned into 3 months. That turned into, I'm not going back. Now that wasn't easy. That's after you getting your little 10, 15, 20,000, your 401k. Yeah. Are you doing good? Yeah. You didn't know, see you, I'm doing good. After about a year, it's like, what do you do? Because if you leave, they're coming. Yeah. This should be a house that My sister should enjoy.
Yeah.
My kids should, my grandkids, let them know what their grandfather built. This was the only thing our father left.
Yeah.
I don't know what they stole. I don't have an idea to this day. But this is the only thing I'm focused on. So I stayed. After the money went well, now I'm for the most part, an African American Ghana with no money.
That's a difficult position, you know.
Imagine how you're looked at.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure it out. You got enough money to move around, do this and that is, but you're not what's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Hit them streets, man. Trolls, everything. Been in every neighborhood. Used to be from Jamestown to everywhere. And it really got me to understand and learn Ghana. Still don't know God.
Yeah.
But the social skills I had allowed me to move around.
Yeah.
And feel comfortable and know how to minimize my budget. Yeah, the old Susan that used to go on parties and the Sky Bar. Yeah, that's cool to start adding up every day.
Yeah. It will take Ghana will take your money.
Yeah, and by God's grace, I did have my father's house. I had a great family who at least would assist me. So spread that forth. That turned into 2 years. Start hosting people. Just this before Afrochella. What's going on in Ghana? Is the monkeys running around? So those questions that they ask.
Right.
And started hosting people. Started finding my way, and it was tough. It was tough. There were a lot of nights, cold water and stuff. You know the way we live: rice, one piece of chicken. But I never starved. But that was an education preparing me to be where I'm at now. And even as we go back, the family dynamics. My family's in Mount Proby. We don't talk right now. There's other issues. A lot of times you think that people are there for you.
Yeah.
We about that hustle life. We see them angles. And if tradition is tradition and culture is culture, let that be. But if it's anything outside of that, and I didn't recognize, I recognized it late. A few years later, I said afternoon travel, we'll get to that is, but I don't know if you know, about 2 years ago, I had a motorcycle accident here.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I broke a femur in 2 places, well, 3 places. So I stayed here. And let me tell you the incident because it comes full circle. Got a motorcycle, doing very well financially. Afro travel is trending. We're making good money hosting clients. Ride a motorcycle in a byway, gear locked up, flew over, boom, land on the ditch, face first, and broke it. Leg, obviously, his leg hanging off. Now, mind you, I told you my father got his leg cut, bleeding everything. By God's grace, this was in my neighborhood because if it wouldn't, nobody would have helped me.
Yeah.
Bleeding. Luckily, my adopted nephew was on back. Was actually my vice president, my company, Afro Travel. He hopped off. Nothing happened to him, and he was there with me. Right. They got me in a cab. My leg is dangling. I'm in the most pain I've ever been in. They took me to, and please, I might pronounce this hospital wrong, Rockaway, or it's in McCarthy Hill.
Okay.
They wouldn't let me out the car. I was bleeding profusely everywhere.
Why?
We can't handle this. They wouldn't let me out the car. I was bleeding. My leg is dangling. So now on a Friday, funeral traffic, coming from McCarthy Hill, I got to go to Korle-Bu. What happens in Ghana when you get a motor accident and your leg is dangling? So imagine me in my mind, my leg is dangling. I'm headed to Korle-Bu on a Friday. Boss, as your cameraman said. It's the same place that my father got his leg chopped off.
I was thinking that, yeah.
We go to Korle-Bu at that time. And mind you, it's my family. My uncle had left and came back. He sort of put an imprint on him like he's a problem. So my family, who I had relationships before he came, laughing, joking. Cousins, everybody. This compound he's put an imprint and now they're following him. So we're not really talking. He's in the hospital too at Korle-Bu. So I get to Korle-Bu, as your cameraman said, "Oh, you about to get your leg cut off, buddy." You already know it. Sometimes perception. A lot of people talk about not trusting people in Ghana, and its perception is that you can't trust anybody. Everybody's out to steal.
Right.
I got a great team I work with. We've been through it. They've made some mistakes, but these young men, Joshua Finnerbell, John Ajay, have been by my side. So when I pulled up, they handled things for me. Hey, got a little bit of money. And we didn't have a lot, but talk to me is not to really look at my leg. Shout out to Korle-Bu. They got me in, splitting my leg. I was screaming, blood everywhere. But in that ER, and we talk about Ghana, what's this, what's not that. It wasn't a private hospital.
Yeah.
They sanitized it, got it straight. I mean, there was so much love applied to me. And we didn't have money like that.
Yeah.
It's not like we walked in the Holy Boo with dollars, like, you feel me?
Yeah.
It was just something that they seen that John talked to them like, please, just analyze this. And they came to tell me like, bro, you know, basically you're gonna be here. You're gonna be here for a long time, bro, and you can't fly home. Because me and you both know naturally, I'm flying home.
Yeah.
We would advise you not to fly home. So I had broken in 2 to 3 places. They're worried about blood clots. So now the mentality, and I hate when I hear people talk about Ghana so bad, what's not to be this, is that. One thing Ghanaians are is they're resilient.
Yeah.
And they can figure something out. Maybe the way that you don't think, but the way it can be get done. So once again, I'm in the emergency room, 3 days, you know what I'm saying, before I go somewhere. Pain, but I'm good. They finally moved me to the ward. As you know, the ward at Corley was like 50, 50, man, 50 cots. Gotta speak on the Corley Boo, because obviously these are people who are struggling. At any time at nighttime, anything can happen to you there. The nurses disappear at 8 o'clock. You know what I mean?
So just left.
Nighttime, hey, ain't nobody checking you or anything. And these beds are not the best. So you know me. My blood pressure's high. They're like, listen, we gotta get your blood pressure down. I gotta work. So I've turned this place in. I got tablets. I got my laptop.
Really?
I got a cooler. Oh, the nurses are like, F it. You feel me?
Yeah.
I'm not listening. I'm arrogant. Look, I don't have time to calm down. I gotta pay this bill.
Yeah.
So I got everything, bro. I'm like looking like the king in there, But once again, there was some care. The doctors are coming through like, bro, we gotta get your blood pressure down. I'm in a ward where I can't sleep, where mosquitoes are coming through the net.
Yeah.
They gave me a mosquito net. It's hot. I'm just freaking out. We make a move to move me to one of the private wards with a little bit of personal attention. I think, got like 8 to 10 people on the ward. And that really helped me come down. Shout out to them. I forgot the name of the ward. But they really helped me calm down. But I'm in Corley Boo. They can't get my blood pressure down. Can't have surgery. I was at Corley Boo for like 4 to 5 months. Can't move if I move my leg this way, I'm screaming. 4 to 5 months. It could really humble a person. But shout out to my team who, as you know, Corley Boo, you got medicine every day. You got to have somebody here every day.
Yeah.
If you need meds, they're not giving you anything. The staff and the nurses worked so hard to take care of me, got me back. So at this time, my uncle's at the hospital too. So my family from Mount Proby, right down the street, 10 minutes, they coming to see me. But they're starting to acknowledge when he came up in Ghana, he got a little bit of money. Because I'm not asking y'all for nothing. I got my staff outside to take care of me. Yeah. And just stick with that. Get better 4 to 5, 6 months later. I have to come home. Not the person I am. Yeah. You see all of this. That wasn't there. That wasn't there.
It's gone.
I'm walking, I'm crawling, blood everywhere. It was truly a process at home. Oof. Not one of my family members, and I'm going to say it, not one of my family members from my father's house, or my father came and visited me. Not one of them came and cooked a cup of rice for me or nothing.
Really?
And that was God letting me know, start to focus on you. Now, mind you, my business is still rolling thanks to my team. Yeah. So I have somebody I have my people I can depend on more than my family. They didn't expect for my leg to get better. They didn't expect for me to be back. Because, in Ghana, when you're done, you're done.
Yeah.
Loan people money, then did all type of things. Then come cook a cup of rice for me. So now we're back now. Full circle. Getting better. The stepmother, one who's a year older. I'm gonna leave that for your audiences, but she's doing a lot of extra activity. I don't care. I share. She's not taking care of my sisters. Got to step up my game and check her. Yeah. We had a couple men in my house. Oh. But in the background, she's talking. So once I started to check about this, she has a different attitude. Get 20,000 cedis a month for pension. Kids have a college fund.
20,000 cedis.
Well, that's 2,000. That's 2,000 a kid. 20,000 cedis. Right. Hairdresser. All about women being independent. My father's gone. My father's an old man. You need to get out and date. Doing a little bit too much. Got people in my house. Want you to date. Telling my brother to let her date. I just need to bring this full circle because you have to watch the cycle. Bring a boyfriend over. I know him. This guy in town, very successful. One of the small boys come and tell me, "No, you looking like a fool." I said, "Because I know everybody in the neighborhood walking and stuff like." I said, "What you mean?" I said, "I don't want this." They said, "You don't know that he comes over your house and his wife is at the restaurant that you eat at? He's married. My sisters and them go to church with this man. You had a married man inside my father's house." And I'm saying it because I know this will go viral. Let's deal with it.
What?
Once again, trying to understand.
So she's dealing with a married man.
Who she goes to church with, who I see his wife. Everybody in the neighborhood know except me. I'm the dumb one. Like, look at American Man's Son. Let's talk about history because we have to make sure, and this specifically to my brothers and sisters who are coming home from abroad who aren't, gotta say in culture, we gotta say in the game.
Yeah.
And if this is the game, this is the game. Now, mind you, we're family, we deal with issues, everything's not black and white. I know you're hurt. I know you probably want to get out. We can deal with this. Do a little bit better. Another 6 months, she starts dating. Like, of course you're gonna get out, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
But she's not doing a wonderful job being a mother. I'm saying is for these little girls to be in the position they are, and man, you both know you develop excellence. With a lot of youth in Ghana don't have opportunities.
Yeah.
So when they do, and you have this type of money, you need to put them in things that they can do. She's not doing that. So, anyways, 6 months later, I'm in my room. I think my girlfriend's over. No, let me take this back. I had to check her about, not check her, I had to discuss with her, like, hey, this new guy you're dating, out of 3 months, say 180 days, I've counted about 100 days you've been gone. 4 or 5 day gaps.
Wow.
Oh, this is real.
Who's the children?
Oh, they didn't looking after themselves. She communicated with on the phone. May have somebody come cook for them. Unacceptable. So now we're dealing with bad motherhood.
Right.
So listen to this. I tell her, like, listen, I can't control what you do one morning as a grown woman. Your boyfriend can no longer come over.
Right.
It just can't happen. It ain't even supposed to happen.
But you're living in the same house?
I'm living in the house. I strictly moved here to really.
Is that where you were healing your leg as well?
Well, no. This was way after.
Oh, okay.
You feel I'm sort of stepping back. Let me say it is because I want to bring this is. So now I'm discussing it with her, like, hey, your boyfriend will come over. This is hilarious. That morning, you have to watch respect. That night, I come on my room. She got the same boyfriend on my porch. All right, we're going to have to deal with this. I come on the porch. I say, hey, Lydia, didn't I tell you that your mans can't be here? She tells me on my father's porch to come down and talk with her and him. I'll be right back. I'm sort of a little bit in my mind. Go get a knife. They just play it. You got to dip. These are conversations we're not having. He beat lines.
Yeah.
Now she's screaming, oh, Leah. You feel me? I don't care. Feel me? The next day I get a call from the police station. They call me, you need to come down. Not by way, but she did a police station over. I hope I'm not going too long on this.
No.
Okay.
Very interesting.
I get a call. Now, obviously, I'm a good guy. I've never got in trouble, got a connection with the police. I call one of my guys. I don't mention his name. He works at CID. He said, I'll go down with you. They're not expecting me to walk in with them. So they tell me, your stepmom come over. She brought the knife that you threatened with. Now, culture says you're supposed to take it to the family. Culture says you're supposed to take it to the family, take it to the police.
Right.
I want to drop something. She's communicating with my uncle all this time. I didn't know. But they've got back together. So now, they're like, we could arrest you, this, that. And what's the problem with her bringing men? Because they try to mix up culture. What's the problem bringing men to her house she owns? She doesn't own the house. What are you talking about? We all own the house.
Yeah.
So now they're stuck. Make a long story, we go short is they find out they can't do anything. All right, the second time I get into it with her, I go to jail. I spent like 4 days in jail in Ghana.
Really?
I'm so frustrated because my uncle who tried to steal with me, who's now head of the family, won't intervene and hold meetings. So she knows I'm left out on my own. She could do whatever.
Yeah.
So once again, not spending time with the kids, this, that. She has a shop in front of her house. I just throw stuff out, not knowing I'm not supposed to do that. That's a no-no. The police come and arrest me, and I spend 4 days in jail. Wrapping this up, she moves out. No longer have a relationship with my sisters. Let you take care of your kids. Full force. I'm doing business here in Ghana. I'm focused on myself. I still interact with my family. That's measured. But you know, it takes a toll on you being here in Ghana. I've definitely seen it in the 6 years. I can go on and on and on. I've taken cases of Sempe Machi Palace. Took my uncle, won 5 out of 6 cases. Obviously, as y'all don't know, y'all culture. There's so many things. So I'll let you answer some questions. I'm sorry.
No, I'm even lost. I wouldn't even ask you that.
The timeline is with. Yeah.
Okay, so you've gone through all of that, but you still had this determination to be in Ghana. At no point did you think, this is enough. Let me just leave.
You know what's crazy, and that's such a great question. I think I think that the gift that my father left me with, all this time he's telling me to come in, that I didn't want to come. I fell in love with Ghana. I'm not talking about the partying at night, stand up on couches and pop bottles. Wait, I could do that in America.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the neighborhoods. I fell in love with the pineapples and mangoes. I fell in love with the safety. I fell in love with Ghana could be.
Yeah.
A lot of times, like after 3 o'clock, if I'm in a Bawe, I can get me a club and just sit and just watch people walk by.
Yeah.
I fell in love with that, and like Ghana had been missing my life. Like I don't. One thing I will say is, if consistency is needed in your life, Ghana's not the place for you.
Yeah.
So I fell in love with Ghana. I think that's my father bringing it full circle, and giving me that gift. And who would have known? So at no point in time have I thought about leaving. I just went back to the U.S. I think like a year and a half ago for the first time in 5 years.
Right.
Stayed, did a little bit of business. I was ready to go. I'm ready to get back to Ghana. I see the foresight. I see what Ghana could become.
Yeah.
I see what it's going to be. Great business opportunities. And I just want to build. I want to do the things that my father didn't get to do. You asked me about my final goal. My final goal is to have my grandkids here every summer.
Yeah.
Let them know that this is what Papa built. Have 10 acres, 20 acres I'm passing on to them. Do some of those legacy things that you might not have been able to do in the UK. Yeah. You weren't able to.
Yeah.
And that's what it is for Ghana. So when you ask me where I live in Ghana. Still a U.S. citizen. I'm not on the back that like damn the U.S. I'm keeping that passport. But I'm here full time. I'm here full time. Yeah, and I love it.
Wow. So would you say that you've struggled most of your years being here, and you're only now sort of finding your feet?
Great. Friend of mine, Robert Boss, he on C2I Security, a huge security company here, is African American. He told me something, and he said, if you stay in this little long, he said, if you stay for 5 years and do business in Ghana, you will make it. You will make it. And that was long. I was in year 2. And what he was saying is so many people come and you're a responsible YouTuber. You know your community. 75% of people on YouTube are not doing what they say. They're looking for the next sucker. They're coming with a bag of $50,000 for themselves in an apartment and then projecting these things. Yeah. What happens when the bag runs out? Can you eat wache? Can you eat bofos? You do what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You see the wache? I mean, I just have to watch on my table. I mean, what happens when that runs out? You no longer stand a $1,200 apartment.
Yeah.
What happens when you have to move out to Kosovo because it's cheaper? So for me, and it's another friend too, and I gotta give him a shout out. I won't say his name, but he asked an important thing. What do you do? Somebody said, I said, wow. What do you specialize in? Instead of specializing having lunches with everybody else and trying to collaborate with them, what do you do? Yeah. Once I define those things, I started to exceed. It's probably been the last 2 years I've been doing very well, 2.5.
Right.
But that was definitely time, effort. Yeah.
That's honest, because I think people come here and they think that you're just going to take off and everything's going to be all happy and, it's going to be easy. And it's not. Most of the people that I have spoken to that have been able to be here for a number of years have gone through a period of struggle, like financial struggle. And it's during that struggle, if you can make it through that struggle where it's so hard and you can come out the other side, you come out better for it. It's so much sharper, you know?
No, and I mean, you're a leader in the community. Like I told you, is even before my father, 8 years ago, I was following you. And for you to say that is, those who have business are working.
Yeah.
We are working hard.
Yeah.
Got clients on Cali. We are working.
Yeah.
Make it very clear the things that you see.
Yeah.
We're learning skills and working on projects that, I mean, when you're building your house.
Yeah.
I see like you were playing like, I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. And we're thrown into these avenues that we don't know, that we didn't do these professions at home. But we know what we're investing in, what Ghana's going to become. So, you know, I agree. And I like to say that you can't hustle Ghana.
Yeah.
It's real hustles here. Bro.
Yeah.
It's real hustlers here.
Yeah.
You cannot, and people think they can hustle. They think they're going to come here with their American accent and do this, this, and that.
Yeah.
Bro, don't you know it's 30 or 50 people that do what you do? At a cheaper rate and better?
Yeah.
Don't think that Ghanaians don't have skills.
Yeah, they do.
The cat who's driving the Uber got a PhD in physics.
Opportunities.
Yeah, it's opportunity. So I think a lot of people is not hated. Shout out to Beyond Return and doing a great job of marketing Ghana. But I think sometimes people pick this up and then they have these negative experiences. Yeah. And now they want to project this on Ghana.
Right.
Ghana didn't do that to you.
Yeah.
You came over and found a boyfriend and you ain't never met his family and this, and that. You seen the red flags.
Yeah. You
went and married him. Player, you're 65, 70. You got a girlfriend who's 23. How do you think that? I'm talking about How do you think that works out? I bought some land, they stole it. You ain't think to do a community assessment?
Right.
Put somebody in the hood to ask some questions who on the land.
Yeah.
Put a couple bricks on it, and you're gonna see who on the land.
Activate the land. Yep.
Once again, culture and just our regular ingenuity and industry, what we know. 8 bricks is 8 bricks, player. It doesn't get any different.
Yeah.
That's 4. That's not 8. And I think so we come to Ghana, we move aside from that.
Yeah. I think what you said is it's so true. It's like, okay, you come with your, you can be a hustler, you come with that mentality, but you need to understand culture. And I think that's the part that people are missing. It's the culture, because you can't come here with your same mindset from the West thinking you've got this, that, No. If you don't understand the culture, that's where your downfall can be. And that's where it happens for most people. You are absolutely right.
And I think that for people on our level, they start from the top. So they start, like in the possible, they start meeting with so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. That ain't gonna go right for you. That's all about that money.
Yep.
And I think what people don't understand is, for me, West Africa has more money of a sub-Saharan African population. I'm talking about black people that I've ever seen. It is liquid money here.
Yeah.
So you coming with your ideas and your proposal, the small boy is sitting on 500,000.
Yeah.
$300 million is going missing. You don't think it's floating down to everybody that we know?
Yeah.
So a lot of times I think that people come over here thinking that the problems that exist, that there are no solutions. Everybody know how to fix it. Yeah. It's just not the focus. Ghana's youth, man, I love them so much. They have so much energy. They have all the answers. And I'm gonna go on a tangent. Just let me roll.
Yeah, go.
I think that what people like to say, oh, politics did this and so did this. BET ruined Ghana. If I could speak on it, please.
Yeah.
Like I look, man, and I see it. I'm gonna talk about the young brothers, man. Handsome, very intelligent, very respectful. These young brothers got the answers.
Yeah.
But for some reason, BT came out and they started showing these videos, and our uncles who were 70 and 80, they didn't necessarily see the things 20 years ago that we see now. So now they're seeing Beyonce, and Auntie used to look like that.
Right.
But Ghana women were very prim and proper. There are things they didn't do. And now Uncle is 85. He wants to experience these things. And there are thousands of Beyoncés running around in Ghana. And Uncle is looking like, I want a part of that. So there's two concepts. One is, and it happens in any sub-Saharan African nation, even at home, is you have to prepare the youth to lead and provide a foundation for them to take your place. Don't minimize them. You should be grooming that person to be the next leader.
Right.
But because that person, and I'm sticking with the males, is more handsome than you, when he steps in the room, she wants him. You have to minimize him and keep him a small boy. When this man is 45 years old, you have to answer to the gutters and everything. And then people are very intelligent, the youth. But I got to keep him a small boy. I got to keep him minimized because she wants him. But I got to have her want me. And what that does is pushes down the industry, the ingenuity, and you think that things can't be fixed. So I think that Ghana has to provide a place for the youth to rise.
Yeah.
And I think as uncles, like I said with my staff, I'm Fat Mo. I'm no longer in front. Josh and them are the attractive ones. And let them be in front. Let my staff. I'm not challenging them or trying to match up with them. No, I'm preparing them to be leaders. I'm still going to get mine. But I'm preparing them to be leaders. So I'm sorry, I'm on a BET.
Yeah.
Because our uncles, not the kids watch, our uncles want to experience those things they seen on BET. You're 75, you're 80.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Stand up on the couch with a bottle, Uncle, a twist. What are you doing? This is weird.
They are there.
They are there.
They are there. Yeah.
They are there.
Yeah. Ooh, my goodness. So tell me.
I'm sorry.
No. Yeah. You've been here a while. So what would you tell someone if they wanted to move back to Ghana and they want to be successful and they don't want to fall into some of these potholes that a lot of people have fallen into? What advice would you give them?
I think I want to make sure I understand. You said move back. That means they grew up here and they moved abroad, or
either way. They're the diaspora. They want to establish themselves in Ghana.
Great question. I think that first, you should come and take a vacation and you should assess Ghana yourself. Ghana's not going anywhere. The land's not going anywhere, nor are the opportunities. Take it so you can assess Ghana yourself. The first trip, you're not going to do that. There's a couple different emotions that are tied in. Obviously, from the historical part, you seeing more Black people than you'd ever seen. That first trip is going to be fluff. Yeah. It's going to be you just getting in touch. I think you need to take 2 to 3 trips. So you can self-assess yourself what's going on and nobody can tell you. Then you can make the moves you need to make. So I think that that's first of all. I think number 2, when you come here, being patient. Being patient. And understand that this is not the UK, that this is not America. It's not things are done. A lot of people just came from villages 20, 30 years ago. So you have to understand that culture, as you said, does reign supreme. Yeah, English is the common language, but at the end of the day, people go back to speaking Ga, Tree, Housey, Fonte. Housey, you know what I'm saying? So we have to understand that the culture reigns supreme. And most importantly, let the culture and let Ghana come to you. Don't force yourself upon it. Yeah. Majority of Ghanaians are not no Sioux. They're not in Legon. They're not in East Legon. And they're not spending 300 to 400 CDs a meal. I just had some fraternity brothers. I just had some other Qs yesterday, and they were doing a tour here. Everybody comes, obviously, don't do a tour with me, but that doesn't matter once you experience it. So we bent some foreigners. I have a STEM program I operate called the Africa STEM Academy in Monrovia, right off police station. Took them to see the kids, what they're doing in STEM. Kids did presentations. Had a lunch at Thermos in Monrovia in the hood. You feel me? Right there. Let them eat a meal. So also the community could see them. Then went and had a meeting, and then we busted up to Jamestown that evening. It was at Jamestown in the evening. Let you see what it's called. I need to let you feel the pain too. And the happiness. I'm not just sticking with, obviously, I'm talking about our crowd. There are other neighbors, Kumasi, West End for Takoradi. But let's get in touch with the people, because that's the majority of what's going on. You can insulate yourself. Also, I think coming here to make a positive impact. Not dropping off school supplies and thinking that you've done something. Coming to make a sustainable impact if you're able. I'm at a great conference. I did an event in Atlanta last year called ATL to Ghana. And basically it's a lifestyle event. Majority of my people have no idea about Ghana. They don't know anything. So we partnered with Beyond Return and GIPC, Yofi Grant. we held a lifestyle mixer where everybody got to come together and network. We held some B2B meetings, allowed some stakeholders in Atlanta to meet and answer some real questions about Ghana business. And then we held with State Representative Amari Crawford and Inga Willis at the Georgia State Capitol. We held a business development seminar where the who's who came out. And we're actually the first group from Africa to hold an event at the Georgia State Capitol.
Wow.
And what I'm saying is making sure you're providing opportunities for Ghanaians. It's all about the youth right now. 50% of the population is under 25. So necessarily you coming, no disrespect, and you building a house or buying a condo here, that is helping, but that's not helping.
Yeah. It's not lasting impact.
Thank you, sister. You got me. I'm not knocking anyone.
No. Yeah,
but
true.
How do you do at some level? So how do we connect them to ATL is to say, hey, this is what you can do and that's what you can is to create jobs. Because right now, and someone says, I can't mention their name, but they said, I can't mention their name, but they said something deep. They said they travel all over the world promoting Ghana business, from Turkey to Afghanistan, everywhere. They said, even Mexico. Everybody's centered in on Ghana because we have arable land. We have access to water. He said, brother, coming. He said, the African Americans, I go and do these presentations. There's so much reluctance. And he said, at some point, it does get tiring, but it doesn't. They come for the beyond return, but where's the impact? Where are the professionals at? And when I say that is, if you didn't operate a restaurant at home, don't come here and try to operate one and wonder why it feels. You're not a restaurateur. This is not what you do.
Right.
You got what I'm saying, sis? If you didn't operate a hotel at home, you're not a hotelier.
Yeah.
And you wonder why.
Yeah.
Where are the professionals to assess? I'm going a little bit of tangent. The Burger King is owned by the Indians. The KFC is owned by the Indians. And no disrespect to the Indians, they're investing.
Yeah.
So what he said is maybe we don't understand that we're still dealing with emotional baggage and post-traumatic slave disorder, which I've never heard of. And it still takes us time to move past that. But while we are in South Osu, there's a Chinatown being built right now. What? Do you know that? Have you seen it?
No.
Right, you know where the Republic is, right?
Yeah.
Go down there, and I want you to take a ride for your show, and you should do it. One of these shows is. You got the tallest building in Osu, which is their headquarters. They built apartments. They got a hotel right there. There are actually Chinese writing on the buildings. It is being built as we speak, and half the Ghanaians don't even know. Me and you both know what's going to happen. I'm not saying that's negative. I'm not saying that's negative is because I'm not focused on Chinese. But where are the brothers and sisters that come assess, who are investors on a major level, what they can do at Ghana to provide jobs? Because we don't provide jobs for the youth, it's going to get bleak. You do what I'm saying? So one is come to assess, come and see how you can really give back. Come and see how you can work with businesses that are already operating. There's this twinge that you can't do business in Ghana is shady. Nah, you just deal with a shady individual. You knew he was shady the second night you met him when he came was like, oh boss, give me some food and I'll see you later. You can see the signs. Yeah. You can see it.
It's high risk, high rewards. That's all.
That's exactly what he said. Listen, you all, this is exactly what the individual said.
Yeah.
So and I'm going on a tangent is, but one, come ready to give back and give back to Ghana to help her develop.
Yeah.
Two, stop complaining. It's not America. 3 years, let me take that back. 4 years ago, I was at the Independence Celebration. It was at Black Star Square.
Yeah.
Beautiful situation. Never seen anything like it. I'm Muslim myself. Next to Akufo-Addo was speaking with the military and the policemen. I guess they just thought I was fat and I looked like them. I don't know. But I was with the top guys. As I walked out, I was having this conversation with this lady, beautiful older lady, had on vintage Kwame Nkrumah fabric wrapped in it. I think this was old vintage. I was having a conversation. I think it went left. And I think I might have been disrespectful, started talking about Ghana bad. Not assuming who this lady was or what she knew. You feel me? And she stopped me and she said, this was deep. She said, when was America founded? I said 1776. She said, hundreds of years, right?
Yeah.
And you're still not getting it right? She said, I see. There's a bunch of turmoil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This lady's starting to school me a little bit. She said, when was Ghana formed? 1957. And I'm listening to Auntie. She said, what year is it right now? I think it was like 2019 or 2020. She said, it took you hundreds of years to get it right. And she said the same thing. Majorities are from the village, and we really maybe prefer military rule, guys, as popular. This is not our native governmental system. It is going to take us hundreds of years to get this right because it's imposed on us.
Right.
So she said, hey, you have corruption, maybe you have corruption.
Yeah.
Hey, who cares?
Yeah.
And she was schooling me to say is that we're a country of culture, we're a country of clans. Necessarily the democratic system, it has helped Ghana, but it's not of a sub-Saharan African mind state. So Ghanaians are still learning that how to apply it to them.
Right.
And there are going to be these in a country's early stages, these problems.
Yeah.
And it was deep.
Very well said. So, very well said.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was an amazing interview, honestly.
Thank you.
I didn't expect to get.
Look, I went on a tangent. I'm like, we're not talking about no more.
I did not expect to get all of this from you. Like,
yeah.
I didn't have to do anything. I just had to sit here, and you just gave me everything. You know.
But you know, it's. And once again, I'm gonna get back to this. And I had a conversation with the Ghana Tourism Authority, and I said, I think this story is too much focused on the year of return coming back. Y'all got to get to where's the family reunion for us?
Yeah.
Where's the straight citizenship program for us who father died and I don't know how to get it? Where's that at?
Yeah.
I'm having some talks with Bahamas people to, we're trying to, bro, y'all can run a campaign on that and do that separate from the Beyond Return. How many people are in the UK whose parents told them in the 80s, don't go back to Ghana? Because it was violence times, you feel me?
Yeah,
it was hard in the 80s, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
And don't get me wrong, they're coming back for the Beyond Return, but that's skewed.
Yeah.
That's all fun popping bottles.
I just want to add on to what you were talking about when you were talking about the funeral and all of that and being completely out of your depth. My dad passed away in January.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, he passed away unexpectedly at the end of January. Yeah. And going through that funeral process, although I had been here for 10 years, way out of my depth. Way out of my depth. And then when I look back and I think, what if I wasn't here and I was walking into this situation? I would have sunk.
Sis.
I would have completely sunk. It is really hard if you have no real relationship with Ghana and you're walking into that situation. You need guidance. And I think it's one of these things that's very difficult to talk about because there's so many things that you need to be aware of and be careful of when you're heading into that funeral territory that people just don't know about. And we need some way to educate people in a respectful way to be able to handle it. Because if not, you're lost. And as you said, you can lose property. You can lose things that are meant for you because you didn't understand the culture and how things are supposed to go. We need some sort of education system for it so that we can come back and things are here for us.
I will say that I do, a lot of people talk about the chieftaincies. I do think that all the paramount chieftains and clans are becoming more progressive. You feel me? From the Tumfo, I was told that the God chiefs, don't go to them, their threats and everything, stood for me a number of times. I think that we need to bring these programs to them. And it needs to be one in every chieftaincy to understand that you have a collection of people that you have to bring in and integrate, from language sessions to culture, to helping them get their citizenship, to helping them. Because what's happening is, and that's why I'm proud of the chieftaincies, they're starting to put in educated chiefs. Shout out to Bawe Palace, shout out to Chief Neboy Kojo, he's 35. I can see the difference in the things that he's making. But as you said, it's even on feelings of culture. Help us understand before. So I think even you, what clan are you from?
I'm an Ewe.
You're Ewe. Very powerful tribe. I think that we should be approaching these chieftaincies and seeing how we should work with them. I think that there should be / Ewe UK ambassador. Specific subject. You know what I'm saying is, I'm trying to talk to the God community about this. There should be an airway or a number of them in different regions. Because the ideas that we have, they're not necessarily understood or passed on, and they're valuable. So think about that. Because that piece with the funeral, I can tell you, it's gonna start to be some pain, and I don't mean to inflict violence. It was nights where I thought about a lot of things, and I could be back to America tomorrow. And that's not the mind state of what Ghana's about. We're blessed with peace.
Yeah.
When you find out that you got, my father's house only a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom. When you find out that you got an 8-bedroom snatched from you and your uncle looking you in your face, you didn't, or your father's cars are going to Jerusalem. My father died the safe. The safe was cracked open. Now I'm hoping that my stepmother, you should do it. I would do it. But what if she did?
Right.
So, you know, I think that I love Ghana. I think that you as a child, a daughter of Ghana, even though you didn't grow up in here, we have responsibilities.
Absolutely.
And we also have responsibilities to push it forward. But when we push it forward, be humble and be patient, and don't treat people nasty because of what they don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody in Ghana, and I see that, and I hate it. The East Lagoon, I hate it that Ghana's starting to be so divided.
Yeah.
A lot of these places are starting to become toxic to me because they're U.S.
No,
We come from that.
Yeah.
So, bro, I really do this. So now you're trying to copy something I do when I really do this, and it's toxic. But Ghana, center of the world, the gateway. So if you want to see black people, I can't speak on Northern Ghana.
Yeah.
The gateway to the world, progressive in business. There's business opportunities. There's safety here. There's culture, religious freedom. They don't promote their Muslims and Christians live next door to each other.
Yeah.
Thank God. Please help me to be no sweat. Ishibachawacha, Habalala, Al Qaeda, Uki Baki Waki. We have none of that here. And I'm saying we need to celebrate those things.
Yeah.
You know, and at the end of the day, I'm speaking of crowd. We're 15 minutes from the ocean. I need to go to the beaches more to enjoy myself. Right. That's why we're here.
Yeah, that's true. So, where can people find you if they want to perhaps do a tour with you or something like that?
Yeah, AfricaRootsTravel.com. You can find us on Instagram, AfricaRootsTravel. Africa STEM Academy. We have a STEM Academy that we work with kids, immerse them in the STEM education. AfricaSTEMAcademy.com, AfricanSTEMAcademy.com. And just follow us, man. Just follow us. We're organic, easy to get in touch with. We're not all about the money. We want to help people too. So we can help you and assist you in any way possible. Let us know. And we don't know everything, but we'll try to find out.
Love it. That's it. Well, thank you so much for today. Honestly, it's been a great interview. I really appreciate it. Okay. So guys, do go ahead. Check out his tours, check out some of the things. Keep an eye on this guy because, you know, he's clued up. People that have been here for years are pretty clued up. So keep an eye on him. You're on social media, right?
Yeah. Africa Roots Travel, Africa STEM Academy. You can follow up LinkedIn. Yeah, please.
Awesome. Okay, well, that's the end of today's video. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. Don't forget to also like, comment, and share this video. Until next time, we are out. Nutitfafa.
That's it.